Welcome to my Book Nook Whispers. Today I'm going to talk about a book I finished early in November. It's Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. I know that Colleen Hoover is very popular with a certain group of readers, and I figured it's time to find out what it's all about. So I started this book as a Kindle version and switched to the audio. And that helped a lot because I was so annoyed by the story. The narration, on the other hand, is quite nice, so it was easy to listen to, but for me, there are so many mistakes in this book. I couldn't really get my head around it. So we follow Kenna, who was in prison for 5 years because she killed her boyfriend in a car accident. And while in prison, she gave birth to a baby girl that she never met. The boyfriend's parents took the baby before she could even say hello to her baby. And now that she's out, she goes back to the place where the grandparents live and her daughter lives. She wants to make a connection with them and hoping they let them meet. But of course, she meets that one guy who turns out to be the best friend of the dead boyfriend, and they fall in love. Obviously, we have lots of issues going forward. That whole trope is not new. I was so annoyed because it felt so foreseeable. And there's this trial, or the story about the trial, where Kenna is actually sentenced, and after a while it comes out what happened and how it happened. I was just so annoyed because in my opinion, if your best friend is killed in a car accident by his girlfriend, you would make sure to know that girlfriend, right? At least if you haven't had the chance to meet her before because they didn't know each other that long, you would make sure to be either at the court or read enough newspapers to know what this girl looks like, right? This does not happen. To me, this whole story was so unbelievable. I could not understand how people would act like this, how they would not remember. It's just too weird and too strange. And yeah, just unbelievable. I only gave it 3 stars. And yes, the writing is quite okay if you want to read something that's easy to read. Obviously a good choice, but the story itself, So if you read it, let me know what you think, and until next time in my Book Nook.